Assalamu alaikum, I'm Aisha and you're watching Samaa News. Here are today's headlines. US President Donald Trump says Washington has held productive talks with Iran and has ordered a temporary pause on planned military strikes. According to Reuters, Trump has instructed the military to postpone any attacks on Iranian power plants and energy infrastructure for 5 days. The decision follows Iranian threats to target Israel's power network and facilities supplying US. Separately, President Trump said regime change is effectively underway in Iran as talks continue with Iranian figures. He warned that bombing will continue if negotiations fail, but said both sides are close to a deal. He also claimed that Iran has agreed it will not pursue nuclear weapons and added that a deal could reopen the Strait of Hormuz and sharply lower global oil prices. The Israeli military says it is carrying out strikes in Iran's capital, Tehran. The development comes shortly after the US President Donald Trump announced a pause on American strikes against Iranian energy infrastructure following talks with Tehran. The latest Israeli action highlights continued escalation on the ground, despite ongoing diplomatic efforts. Also, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu says Israel will protect its vital interests as talks between Washington and Tehran continue. He confirmed a call with President Trump, who sees a chance for an agreement with Iran, but Netanyahu said strikes will continue in Iran and Lebanon. He added that Israel is targeting missile and nuclear programs while maintaining military pressure. Pakistan has joined regional efforts to ease tensions between the United States and Iran, engaging in back-channel diplomacy alongside Turkey and Egypt. An Axios report revealed that senior officials from these three countries held separate talks with U.S. envoy Steve Witkoff and Iranian Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi, and that they have been actively passing messages between the United States and Iran over the past 2 days in an attempt to de-escalate the ongoing crisis. Oil prices have plunged sharply after US President Donald Trump announced a delay in military strikes on Iran's energy infrastructure. Brent crude dropped by around 15% to nearly $96 a barrel, while US West Texas Intermediate fell over 13% to about $85. The decline reflects easing fears of immediate disruption to global oil supplies following the decision to pause strikes. British Prime Minister Keir Starmer says there is no evidence that Iran is targeting mainland Britain. Speaking to reporters, Starmer said ongoing security assessments show no indication of a direct threat to the UK. He also stressed that efforts to reopen the Strait of Hormuz must be carefully planned, adding that his top priority remains protecting British interests and de-escalating tensions. French President Emmanuel Macron has reaffirmed France's support for Saudi Arabia and condemned recent Iranian attacks on the kingdom. During a phone call with Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, Macron expressed solidarity and backed Saudi measures to safeguard its sovereignty and security. The statement comes amid rising tensions across the region following ongoing military escalations. European Union Foreign Policy Chief Kaja Kallas has held talks with Iran's Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi amid escalating tensions in the Middle East. EU officials say Kallas also spoke with counterparts in Turkey, Qatar, and South Korea to address the conflict, attacks on energy infrastructure, and the urgent need to reopen the Strait of Hormuz. The calls are part of ongoing diplomatic efforts, with warnings that threats to critical infrastructure could impact millions across the region and beyond. 2 pilots have been killed after an Air Canada Express regional jet collided with a ground fire truck while landing at New York's LaGuardia Airport. US media report that dozens of passengers were injured in the incident, which forced the closure of the airport. The CRJ-900 aircraft, carrying 72 passengers and 4 crew members from Montreal, was operated by regional partner Jazz Aviation.
Dozens are feared dead after a Colombian military cargo plane crashed shortly after takeoff. The aircraft was carrying more than 100 people, including soldiers, with 71 rescued and injured. Defense Minister Pedro Sanchez said the crash occurred in a remote area of Putumayo province. President Gustavo Petro called the accident deeply painful as rescue teams continue operations at the site.
That's all for now. For more updates, visit www.samaa.tv. Thank you for watching Samaa News.